Hey there. So Labor Day weekend has just passed. Didn't really work on the barn. Had some family events to go to instead. But I did manage to clear the space here. So now I can at least see the state of the studs. So let me show you. So I just wanted to go over what I found here. As you can see, it's all been cleared out. So I can get a closer look. I've talked about this window and this horrible rotten wood. So I won't go over that again, but most of what I found seems to be the same sort of deal. You have the original stud here. Somebody's already cut it and replaced it, but a lot of these replacements are rotten. As you can see here, there's nothing under that. This one seems to be in fairly decent shape. It's got a little bit of damage there, but I won't really know until I get some of this sistering off of it. But the sistered 2x4 actually is in good shape, so I may just be able to take this, cut it to length, and replace what's under here, and then sister with my 2x6. So that may be my new plan. Same deal here, rotten on the bottom, but the one that's sistered to it is in good shape. There's a lot of this thinner boards that have been used to sort of bridge where the new piece has been scabbed on. But like I said, what's been scabbed on is gone. This one's different. It's a pretty massive beam, but it's got some dry rot. And down at the bottom it looks like ants have been in there at some point. So that's not in good shape. That'll have to be replaced. I don't have anything that wide, so I may end up going with a 4x4 and just a 2x4 to fill in the rest of the gap, and then I'll sister up the length of it with a 2x6. Same sort of weird deal here. Piece scabbed on this side, piece scabbed on this side. This one's half cut through for some reason. And this oddly framed opening, I believe, is a chicken door. They used to have chickens in here at one time, so I think this may be hinged on the outside, and you can open it up just to let the chickens in and out. So I'll get rid of all that. And that brings us over here by this window. This is the original stud here that goes up. This is quite a mess, actually. So that's been cut and a new piece has been put in. The new piece only goes to here, so it's a good 10 inches away from the actual foundation, so it's not doing anything. A new 2x4 was sistered to it. If we follow that down, you can see that it's rotten, and so another 2x4 was sistered to that, and we can follow that down, and it looks like it may be in good shape. So I may just remove all these and put a new piece under here and then sister properly. On the other side is another 2x4 just to frame out this window. So this window itself is another sort of story. It looks like it used to be a door at one time. Whoever replaced the wall with the plywood just went ahead and walled over it, and then somebody came along and sort of framed in this window, which I suspect is why we see the 2x4 and the little scrap of wood and the scrap of plywood, and then the window, and then a horrible opening has been cut in through the plywood, and this piece here is actually hinged so you can open and close it. It's not ideal and it's not right, so I'll have to fix that up. Same sort of deal here in the corner. You can see it's been cut there. This beam here, it looks okay, but from the outside, and you can see the light coming in, you can actually see that it's in bad shape on that far side, so that'll have to be replaced as well at some point when I get in there. Same deal on this side of the window. You can see right here it's been cut and a new piece has been put in. I'm not really sure what shape that's in yet. So I'll have to do a lot of reframing around this window opening and this put a header above. You can see this stud here has nothing under it, so it stops somewhere behind this board, and I don't know where, but there's no header there. So you can see it's just not supported at all. Neither is this floor joist, it's free floating. So there's nothing supporting that, so that'll have to be fixed as well. But that's a lot further down on the wall, so it's going to take me a while to get here. So before I can get to fix any of this, I have to sort of keep removing this blocking. It should be fairly easy. It's only, what, 4 pieces. They seem to be held in place with a single nail on each stud, so they should come out fairly easily. This ledger board, they've never come out easy. They always fight me. But I just keep working on it and I'll get it off, and then I can install a new one and then build up to it. That's the plan. For now I just need to figure out which of these joists to jack from. Each of them sort of has a unique problem. This one, well, I'll start here. This one, which is above this window, is attached to this, if you can see this stud here, which I've talked about before, is totally gone. So there's no point jacking on that. It's not really going to lift anything but an old rotten board. This one would be ideal, and may be ideal. It's locked in place with that 2x4 that's been sistered to the existing stud, so in theory if I jack this up, the wall will go with it. The problem comes over here where it's, I'm not sure how it's attached. I suspect it's just sitting on top of this, this top plate here, and not really attached firmly or securely, so I'll have to examine that closer before I determine if I can jack on that. The next one next to it has nothing locking it in place. There's no 2x4 above, but again, I can make use of these notches and lock it in place with a 2x4 and some wedges that go across. So if this one doesn't work out, then the next one will. And you know, once this is replaced here, I'll be able to use that to jack on as well. So that's sort of what I'm going to peck at today. Just going to pull these boards off so I can get a closer look. Okay, I pulled that blocking out, so let's take a closer look. Here, this one that I was considering jacking on does indeed have a whole spike holding it in place. Not sure if that's showing up. This really wide beam here that I said the bottom was rotten on, and it seemed okay here. When I got further up, you can see that just by pulling the blocking off, it completely sort of started deteriorating, so there's nothing there. But it looks like it may only run up to here anyway. Some of that is still solid actually. It may just be the face. So I'll have to check this out, but if it's in bad shape, I may have to run a new something up here. I'm not exactly sure what, but maybe I can make use of this existing sort of notching, this half lap, and this is 3 inches across, so maybe I can rip something down, or put 2 2x4s actually. They're 3 inches when put together, so maybe I can run 2 2x4s side by side to support that, and then 2 more on each side to come up to here. So that may be a fix here. That's unfortunate it's in that bad a shape, but I'd rather find it and fix it than ignore it and you know, leave it for someone else. This stud here ends there, doesn't go anywhere, and I showed you here before, it's not supported, this joist, and this particular stud there is rotten and not supported either. So I definitely need to put a header over this window and support this beam and that stud as well. So lots of framing to be done there. I'll have to just sort of, you know, work on it as I go. Unfortunately, that's just the way this is working out. It was supposed to be a simple project of putting new plywood floor down in the loft, and now I'm finding myself replacing a lot of rotten studs in the wall and restructuring. So I'll keep going. I know what I have to do. I have a goal in mind, so I'll just keep going. Not today though, it's too bloody hot. It is very humid today, and it's one of those days where you can just feel the rains coming, but it's not here yet. So not a place you want to be trapped in a barn. So that's it for today. It's too hot and humid to really keep working out here. Tomorrow I will jack one of these joists or two of these joists and start looking at installing the new sill plate along the rest of this wall. Once that's in place, I can start fixing the rotten studs and sistering the new 2x8s and reframing around all these windows. So that's going to be next. So I'm just going to pick at it tomorrow, like I said, jack it, and hopefully I can get that new sill in place. So that's the plan. Thanks for watching.